Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Meyyfa Yanti. I am from the 2080 Business Education Study Program, Faculty of Economics, State University of Jakarta. In these videos, I want to explain about Thesis by title The Effect of Brand Ambassador, Brand Image, and Product Quality on Bodycare Product Purchase Decision in Jabodetabek. Next. Chapter 1 Preliminary. In this chapter, I want to explain about research background, research question, research purpose, and benefit of research. Next. To shorten the time, let's start the explanation from research background. Women are always required to look beautiful and attractive. This demand indirectly makes the cosmetic industry continue to increase. Even the current market share of cosmetic is beginning to expand to men and children. The development of bodycare product in Indonesia has recently grown so rapidly. More and more types of bodycare product appear, but international or imported brands. Next. With the emergence of new local brands, the beauty product market is getting more attractive and competitive. The development of cosmetic products has resulted in the level of competition in the bodycare business world is also getting tighter, so that each bodycare manufacturer is competing to win the competition in various ways. One of the activities that has begun to be carried out by many local brands is collaborating with a public figures such as Korean Idol, which is to make them brand ambassador. However, recently making celebrities from Korea as brand ambassador has attracted protests because Korean skin is considered not to represent the skin of most Indonesia who are colored with mature and mustard. Next, in additional to paying attention to brand ambassador, consumer also often use the brand image of a product as a reference in making purchase decision. According to Killer, define brand image as a perception of a brand that is reflection of the consumer memories of his association with the brand, meaning the perception and belief held by consumer when they first heard the slogan of the brand. Negative product image among consumers can cause consumers to switch to competitor product, as has been happening a lot recently due to the large number of counterfeit products circulating in the market that have an impact on the bad brand image of the original product. The more diverse bodycare brand that circulate can encourage a consumer to be smarter and more careful in deciding the choice of bodycare brand. But besides that, the main cause still lies in the quality of the product. Product quality can decrease due to various cases of one of which is due to the decreased quality of the main ingredients employed, turnover, and so on. Bodycare products have a risk use that needs to be considered. Considering that the content of chemical doesn't always have the same effect for every consumer, so that the quality of bodycare product is important and need to be considered because it is related to the skin of the human body. If the ingredients contained in the bodycare product are not suitable, it can cause damage to the skin, which causes insecurity for the wearer. Next, this is research question. Does the brand ambassador affect the purchase decision of bodycare product in Jabodetabek? Does the brand image affect the purchase decision of bodycare product in Jabodetabek? And does product quality affect the purchase decision of bodycare product in Jabodetabek? Next, this is research purpose. The purpose of this research are as follows: to analyze to analyze the effect of brand ambassador on the purchase decision of Bodycare product in Jabodetabek, to analyze the effect of brand image on the purchase decision of Bodycare product in Jabodetabek, and to analyze the effect of product quality on purchase decision of Bodycare product in Jabodetabek. Next, this is benefit of research. Theoretically, this research is expected to increase knowledge in the field of marketing management, especially about brand ambassador, brand image, and product quality to the purchase decision of Bodycare product. And practically, this research is expected to be useful for various Bodycare brand companies. And next, chapter 2, literature review. This is theoretically framework and hypothesis development, the effect of brand ambassador and purchase decision. Research conducted by Devi and Jati City 2020, Fitrianto et al. 2020, Putra 2014, and Hafila 2019 that brand ambassador have an effect on purchase decision. Departing for the argument above, hypotheses for the influence of brand ambassador and purchase decision are conflated as follows. Hypothesis 1, brand ambassador influence the purchase decision of Bodycare product in Jabodetabek. Next, the effect of brand image and purchase decision. A research conducted by Javadian Defordi and Foster 2016, Venetia and Arifin 2017, Hakim and Saragi 2019, and Huda 2020 that brand image have an effect on purchase decision. So, departing for the argument above, hypotheses are conflated for the influence of brand image and purchase decision as follows. Hypothesis 2, brand image is influenced by the purchase decision of Bodycare product in Jabodetabek. And next, the effect of product quality and purchase decision. According to research conducted by Anggraini and Harwani 2020, Suhaili and Darmoyo 2017, Amelia and Asmara 2017, and Wulandari and Iskandar 2018, that product quality have an effect on purchase decision. So, departing from the argument above, a hypothesis is conflated for the influence of product quality and purchase decision as follows. Hypothesis 3, product quality affect the purchase decision of Bodycare product in Jabodetabek. Next, this is image of theoretically framework in this research. X1 is brand ambassador as independent variable. X2 is brand image as independent variable. X3 is product quality as independent variable, and Y is purchase decision as dependent variable. Next, chapter 3, research methodology. Research place is Jabodetabek. The research location was chosen because it is the Jakarta area with the most data on the number of workers compared to other regions. And the people who works in Jakarta are not only native Jakarta resident, but also resident who live in Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, and Bekasi. A resident who works need Bodycare to increase self-confidence. So Jabodetabek is the area with the most use of Bodycare. Research time. Data take on October until November 2022, and the population involved in this study are consumers who have purchased and used various Bodycare products and live in Jakarta, Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, and Bekasi. Sample. In accordance with the theory of hair, the researcher made the theory as the basic for sampling with a minimum size of 100 until 200 respondents. Next. This is instrument development. The scale is measured by a 5-point Likert scale. The question on the questionnaire are made with a Likert scale with a score of 1 until 5. According to Sugiono, the Likert scale is used to measure the attitude, opinion, and perception of person of group of people about social phenomena. Likert scale on questionnaire in answer choices questionnaire strongly agree have a score 1, agree have a score 2, neutral have a score 3, don't agree have a score 4, and totally disagree have a score 5. Next, data collection technique. Data collection in the study use primary data conducted with survey technique. The survey technique used by researcher is to distribute online questionnaire made using Google Form. And next, this is data analyze technique. The descriptive analyze, according to Sugiono, descriptive statistics are statistics used to analyze data by describing the data that has been collected as it without intending to make conclusions that apply to the general public in the generalization. Next, validity test. The data collected from the responder will be analyzed using SMART VLS, testing the convergent validity and discriminant validity. Next, reliability tests. Reliability tests are carried out to discriminate the considered level of instrument in the collected data. Reliability testing use the composite reliability and Cronbach alpha. Thus, with the condition that if the composite reliability value is above 0.7 and the Cronbach alpha above 0.7, then it can be said to be related. And hypothesis test. In this research, the hypothesis was tested using structural equation modeling. Some researchers will use SMART PLS by conducting a bootstrap test. Next, chapter 4, result and discussion. This is the description of unit analysis to be able to find out and offer few the respondent who were the object of this research. Researcher classified respondent by gender, age, level of education, geo status, and marital status. Data regarding the identity of a respondent is described in the form of the table. Based on the table, it can be seen that the majority of respondents in this research were female, as many 214 or 18.9% of the total. Meanwhile, responder who are male, only 13 respondent or 11.1%. And the characteristic of respondent based on age were most at the age 17 until 27, as many 253 respondents or 93.7%. Meanwhile, based on the data obtained by the majority of respondents last education level, in this research were at the high school or senior high school education level, and the second most majority in the study were at the bachelor education level. Next, there are the characteristics of respondents based on job status. Based on data obtained, the majority of respondent employment status in this research are respondents who have not worked, and the second majority are respondents who works. And the last is the characteristic of respondent by marital status, based on data obtained by the majority of unmarried respondents. Based on the table, there are 64 Bodycare brand used by respondent out of a total of 270 respondents in this research. The most used brand by respondent in the study was the Vaseline brand, as many 163, and the second most brand used by respondent was the Meyyfa, and the third most brand was the Scarlet Whitening brand, as many 109 respondents. Next. Then there are 37 Bodycare brands that are only used by one respondent in each brand. The large number of Bodycare brands is because each respondent is allowed to choose at least more than one Bodycare brand that respondents are currently using. Next, researchers use structure equation modeling for TLD-SQL or Smart VLS software. The first step in the task, the goodness of fit testing for outer model, its PLS consists of two tests. The first is the validity test, which include convergent validity testing and discriminant validity testing. To find out whether the latent variable indicator is valid or not, it is measured by looking the loading factor value. The value of the loading factor in the latent variable with its indicator is called the convergent validity value. In some PLS, the convergent validity value can be said to be valid if the loading factor value is above 0.5. And from the table, it can be seen all the items have a loading factor value above 0.5, so that all items in this research are valid. And another method for assessing convergent validity is to look at the average variance extracted. Value recommended for the initial research is 0.5, and the average variance extracted value on all four variable has a value above 0.5. Next, the validity of discriminant can be measured by looking at the value of cross-loading. The criteria in cross-loading are that each indicator that measures each construct must be correlated higher than older constructed. Based on the table, it can be seen that each indicator has the highest loading factor value to the intended construct, and the loading factor value to other construct is lower. Next, the second step taken in the goodness of fit test for outer model in some VLS is the reliability test, which include composite reliability testing and front batch alpha. Based on the table, it can be seen that the composite reliability value for the four variables is about 0.9. Latent variable can be said to have a good reliability if the composite reliability value is greater than 0.7, so that the four variables in this research can be said to have good reliability. Next, based on the table, it can be seen that the value of cron-based alpha in the variable in this research is above 0.7. The variable of brand image and product quality are above 0.8, and the variable purchase decision and brand ambassador are at 0.9, so it can be said that all variable in this research is reliable. Next, hypothesis test. Hypothesis testing in this research was carried by bootstrapping. In the bootstrapping process, can access the degree of significance of the t-statistic value. The significance of the t-test in this research of 5% with the decision criteria H0 was rejected if the p-value under 5%, which means HA was received or t-statistic table 1.96. Based on bootstrapping estimate that have been carried out using 270 samples, it can be seen in the table that the t-statistic value for the first hypothesis, it influence of brand ambassador and purchase decision of 3,378. Then the t-statistic value for the second hypothesis, namely the influence of brand image and purchase decision, 3,943, and get the t-statistic value for the third hypothesis, namely the effect of product quality on the purchase decision of 7,139, which means greater than 1.96, and the p-value of 0.000, which means smaller than under 0.05, then H0, the first hypothesis is rejected and HR is accepted. So it can be said that there is a positive and significant influence on all hypotheses. Next, this a model drawing and calculating of smart PLS. And the last, chapter 5, closing. Conclusion. The brand ambassador variable has a positive and significant effect on the purchase decision of Bodycare product in Jabodetabek. The brand image variable has a positive and significant effect on the purchase decision of Bodycare product in Jabodetabek. And product quality variable have a positive and significant effect on the purchase decision of Bodycare product in Jabodetabek. Recommendation for next research. For next research, it is hoped that it can look for other variables besides brand ambassador, brand image, and product quality for purchase decision, because this variable has been studied by many researchers so that they are commonly used. There are many other variables that are still rarely used and can be chosen to influence purchase decision. And for the next research, it is hoped that it can develop and deepen by changing the object of research to be more specific to make it easier to get data and clarity of research results. And last, increasing research reference. In order to get good research results and support the research topic being studied. This is bibliography from this research. Thank you.